All right, let's now cross live to SABC's Atule Joga, who's currently monitoring all the developments at the conference there. Atule, a very good afternoon to you. We've heard about the new leadership, of course, that has been elected. But what has come out of the briefing by the new ANC leadership out in the Western Cape?
Well, indeed, Alicia, what they're saying is that they want to hit the ground running. They want to enforce discipline within the structures of the organization. They want to bring back unity. They want to get rid of factional battles and infightings within the organization, as well as try and raise funds for the organization and also conduct an assessment to try and monitor some of their opposition parties and some of their public representatives who are holding public offices. So they are trying to rebuild and renew this organization. So they have quite a critical message to the voter to bring back unity, to bring back confidence again in the ANC. They are saying even though the newly elected chairperson was in the ANC structure before, but they are bringing a set of skills and capabilities that will help to move this particular structure forward. But I am joined by the provincial secretary, the newly elected provincial secretary, Mr. Neville Delport. Mr. Delport, talk to us about some of your key priority issues as you articulated here in the briefing.
Yeah, thank you to all the viewers.
I'll hold the mic for you.
Yeah. One of the key issues and priorities within the ANC currently is first to unite the ANC itself within all structures, build a strong relationship with all our NGOs out there in different regions, also making sure that we have a good relationship, working relationship of all our alliance structures within the Western Cape. Secondly, we must now go and focus on a plan to dislodge the power of this mighty DA in this province. So therefore, unity within our structures are the most critical issue, and also to install discipline within our structures.
How are you planning to decrease the voting power of the DA?
Look, there's a lot of challenges facing our communities out there. The ANC must increase their voter registration in our based areas. We must also focus on rural regions, farm workers, and make sure that they are registered and make sure that we are bringing out and vote for the ANC in the next year's elections.
Some of the people are saying the issue of factionalism dates back, even the chair alluded to that, to the issues of regionalism. How are you planning to tackle with this elephant in the room, which is the factional battles within the ANC, especially looking at the contestation that took place here again today?
Look, I joined the ANC in 1988. I'm from a small town in Provincial, close to Vredendal. I then was elected of the ANC Regional Secretary of the Youth League of the West Coast, served 3 terms in the West Coast as Regional Secretary, unify all structures within the West Coast, get elected in 2 conferences unopposed, and that is my credentials within the ANC. And I will try by all means to foster unity. We are now ending this conference and hopeful that our structures on the ground will make sure that they also try to foster unity amongst themselves. We are now dislodging this campaign that we have. We were a lobby group, very strong lobby group. So I urge all our incoming PEC members not to get involved in any factional activities in this province.
What is your general feeling about the outcomes of this conference?
Look, general feeling is this conference and delegates have spoken. They've given us this opportunity to lead. It reflects, this leadership reflects everything that we have dreamed of. It reflects leadership from rural areas. It's not a dominant leadership of the metro, and therefore we are so glad that delegates have made that choice till late last night in making sure that it reflects the whole province.
You also had a strong word for those who will continue to perpetuate those factional battles. You said you will instill discipline. What did you mean by that, and how are you aiming to do that?
Look, we have no time for personal battles within the ANC. We must hit the ground immediately. Those comrades that will get involved in trying to purge comrades, I will personally making sure that that never happened from our side on a regional level, on a branch level. So my message out there too is structures that did not even support us. We will make sure that we will build a relationship with you in all levels and making sure that you respect this PEC as your elected leadership, and hopefully all of them will rally behind us.
You will also have commissions now to discuss some of the policy document. What is in there?
Yeah, no, it will end at 4. I think our president will close conference. We will then have to reconvene a PGC to deal with all the outstanding issues in commissions. Therefore, I think we will close conference around about 5.
What are you hoping for from the message of the president today?
I'm hoping that the president will encourage all our members within the ANC that we must rally behind this leadership. We will rally behind the president coming year, and therefore we urge all our delegates to be present when the president arrives here.
Thank you so much.
Thank you very much.
Newly elected Provincial Secretary of the ANC in the Western Cape, Mr. Neville Delport, saying he will crack the whip on those who are ill-disciplined. They will try and make sure that all the delegates are towing the line and are respecting the guidelines and the rules of the organization. Talking, of course, that some of the priority issues is to topple the DA, to dethrone the support of the DA, and to try and make sure that the ANC does increase their support base. They are growing as a party in the province because they also want to get hold of that power. They want to help that power. And the only way to do that is to deal with their official immediate opposition. I was trying to see if I can get the newly elected chairperson, as we were promised that we might have a chance to speak to him as I go closely to him. The chairperson, the newly elected chairperson, we are live on SABC, Mr. Vuyisa JJ Chalisosuse. Everyone wants to know who is this newly elected chairperson?
The newly elected chairperson of the ANC is a son of the ANC. He's an activist of the movement, participated in the Student and Youth Congress, and at some point served as Secretary General of COSAS, and was elected here as Provincial Chairperson of the ANC Youth League. Having graduated from the Youth League, was elected into the PEC of the ANC until I was deployed to rebuild structures of the ANC in the Dala Omar or Metro region. After the structure was dysfunctional, people have left for Cope. After rebuilding the Dala Omar region, I was then elected to the regional executive as the secretary of the region for 3 terms. So I've been around. I've been part of the furniture of the movement.
Your name caught a lot of people by surprise. Were you surprised to emerge in this position?
Well, anything is possible. When we come here, originally I was campaigning for the position of secretary. Then in the horse trading and interaction with other regions, it was decided that I must contest the position of chairperson.
And there was a whole lot talk about trying to denounce the politics of money within the ANC. Looking at how your position came as a surprise to a lot of people. What was that talk about? Did you hear anything about that?
Talk about
the politics of money in the ANC. They were talking about denouncing the politics of money within the structures of the ANC.
No, we must. And I'm one of the people in the ANC in the province who are against the use of money. And these people who use money are known in the ANC. It's business people who wants to get candidates of their choice so that they can manage in their own way structures of the ANC, so to say. And even leading to this conference, there were such people and they are known by the movement. And in many instances, they are reported to leadership structures, but nothing is happening to them.
I want us to talk again about this question of money, especially raising the funds for the Provincial Executive Committee of the ANC in the province. But I want you to talk to us about how are you planning to maybe topple the DA in the province?
I think what we ought to do when we come out of this conference is to sit in a provincial strategy workshop and plan how we want to take the fight to 2024. And one of our preoccupation is to make sure that we reduce the DA below 50%. And when we have crafted that strategy, because we're not going to go common sense into elections, we're going to sit with our alliance partners, with our league, develop a strategy and a program that will take us through the elections.
You have been in the ANC structure, you've served in this Provincial Executive Committee. One of the questions that has come out is that what are you going to do differently this time around? Wasn't perhaps this the time to give other people a chance to come with renewed and fresh ideas?
History is the best teacher. We will learn from our mistakes, we will learn from our successes, we will build on that. But most importantly, the strength that we must build to this position and this PEC is to be humble, but learn from those that led before us. Get experience from them, but draw a wide range of activists and comrades to assist us to crafting the way forward. We must not be arrogant that we are elected, but we must be able to tap from others' wisdom. That's what we want to do differently.
Obviously, it is quite difficult to run an operation of an organization without resources. And also there's a balance that you have to strike there to make sure that the party is not captured. How are you going to navigate that nuance as this newly elected Provincial Executive Committee? I'm asking this question because the outgoing or the former IPC that just left now said it was quite a problem to raise funds. The ANC was not attractive quite enough to private business. How are you going to balance that, making sure that the party is not captured, but you're also able to raise money for the organization?
What is important is that as leadership, we must be able to show internally and publicly that we have a vision. We must have a vision that is attractive, even to private business. Because one of the things that does not bring money to the ANC is when we are preoccupied with our internal issues, not demonstrating any willingness to change the lives of the people. And no one will want to invest in such an organization that is preoccupied with factional battles. But if we are a campaigning ANC that demonstrates willingness to change the lives of the people, people will invest in such programs. And unfortunately, we're not going to want to be captured by those people. When we ask for resources, we will want to be respected, that we are leadership and must be given an opportunity to lead, not private business to lead on our behalf.
Have you managed to talk with your competitor, Mr. Cameron Dagmo? How is he feeling?
I've not talked to him. He arrived late today. He sent me a message that he was stuck at home for some reason, but I must convey that he is available to contest any additional position if nominated. And immediately after that, we came here. So I will speak to him. He's a great friend of mine.
To those who ask us again, who is this Mr. Vuyisa Chalistusu? What must you say to them?
Tell them he's a son of the ANC. I was born in the movement. I'll die in the movement.
Thank you so much.
Thanks, my brother.
Newly elected chairperson of the ANC in the Western Cape, Mr. Vuyisa Chalistusu, just talking to us about his position, his role, and his main priority issues, saying to those who are asking who is he is a son of the ANC, he has served in this particular structure. And he is saying, even though he has served in this particular structure, what they will do this time around is to draw lessons from their previous mistakes to make sure that this time around they resolve all these issues to try and rebuild the organization. Talking about other issues, as how they are trying to raise funds for the ANC and a whole other issues. And Alicia.
Thank you so much. That is SABC reporter Atule Jogo, live to us from the ANC's Western Cape Electoral Conference. And of course, we've just heard from the newly elected Secretary General as well as Chairperson.